Moving on to SWMRS. It is somehow their fourth and second album. It's called Berkeley's on Fire. They are from Oakland, California, and they play a indie, surfy, pop punk kind of sound. I say it's their fourth and second album at the same time because I've gone through many name changes, most notably as Emily's Army, which is a reference to I believe a childhood friend of theirs. They released two albums under that moniker and then released True North. No, it's not True North. Drive North. Released Drive North as SWMRS, spelled SMWRS, and this is the second album. And they're a band I've accidentally stayed away from for quite a while. I'm going to take a sip of tea whilst that sinks in. My second ever gig, because I'm quite late to the gigging thing, I saw them with Pennywise supporting Rise Against in, I think it was Nottingham, Sheffield, I got confused. And I thought they were great, and what really hit home for me was the fact that the drummer is the son of Billy Joe, and like little tidbits of music like that I'm always like well in for. And on their own, they were, as soon as I got past the part where, hey, they don't sound like Green Day at all, as soon as I got that like really short vision in my head out and took them for what they were a really, really fun, like I said, light-hearted, surfer punk kind of band. And I ended up getting their Swim EP, which I think was one of the last releases as Emily's Army. And yeah, for whatever reason, I just stopped listening to them. It wasn't anything personal. Like I said, I enjoyed the Swim EP. I got a couple of songs from their album Lost at 17. But yeah, I just sort of like moseyed on past. I didn't even notice they released Drive North. And then I saw they had this new album coming out, and there was a bit of buzz behind it as well. What was the song? Something Houston. April in Houston was one of the lead singles from it, and everyone was going a bit nuts over about that. And I don't know how, but I remember hearing a song, the title song, Berkeley's on Fire, and I got properly hooked from there. So I figured I would like give the whole album a go, and I'm really, really glad I did, because this thing is, again, really, really fun album. The first thing that strikes me is it's a lot different musically than their Emily's Army days, which makes sense. Swim came out in 2014. I think I saw them, must be about 2015. Swim is like very, very pop punk, and to try and like gauge whether or not this was just an Emily's Army into SWMRS thing, or if it was just like a new sound to go for Berkeley's on Fire, I had a look at Drive North, which came out 2016, and Drive North is still fairly heavy on like the surfer punk, indie punk kind of thing. It's still definitely pop punk with just like lots of things going on as well. I feel like Berkeley's on Fire is two completely separate EPs just kind of like smashed together. And they do it in this like really interesting way. So you've got the more punkier side of things that are usually fronted by Max, and then you've got this like more dreamier indie pop kind of stuff that's more fronted by Cole. And it's such a clever trade-off for the album. Usually you get like in songs, a trade-off between like a little bit, it's weird to say harsh, he doesn't scream, he's just got like a gravelly voice, I guess. But bounce between them throughout the songs, and then you can sort of tell where like one part was better than another part, or where you think those vocalists should really situate themselves. But on here, the fact they've got a lead singer doing leads for a song at a time, and it utilizes the talents of the vocalists, it's a very smart move, and it shows how very aware of their own respective talents are and how they can perform musically. And yeah, I just thought it's something that I can't really think of a time where I've heard it previously. And yeah, I just thought I'm going to just stop saying I thought, because I've run out of thoughts. The title track opens the album, and it's got a really, really ear-catching riff. I kept thinking the vocalists were sort of like dream pop not dream pop, fucking Britpop in their delivery and their sort of attitude. And I've had a look at like pictures of them and music videos and interviews and that sort of thing. And the way they're like a style, I guess, which is a really weird thing to sort of bring into the music, but the style does seem to have that like 90s worship aesthetic, and obviously Britpop, huge in the 90s, strangely enough. And that opening song, the way it's sort of like clashing punk rock with Max at the helm, that gives you the taste of like one half of this album. And then it goes into Too Much Coffee, which is the other side of the album's coin. It's more eclectic, there's lots more melodies in there, and it teases an electronic element to the album's sound. And it's weird, I've described it as an organic electric. And you can kind of hear it in the drums to Lose, Lose, Lose as well, track 4. And I describe it as that as any time you get a point where there feels like, or it sounds like this electric layer to the album, it feels like it's coming straight from the guys in the band. It's not coming from a keyboard or a synthesizer. And bear in mind, I'm aware that I believe it's Cole that does do keyboards for the album, but it doesn't really feel like he does. It just feels like it's coming all from the 4 guys in the band, and just like various effects and trickery and wizardry to make it sound like it. It feels like if you put all 4 of them in front of you and said recreate the song, they could do it with the instruments in the hand. They wouldn't have to like put a sampler on. They wouldn't have to like load up a computer. They could just put some pedals in, plug some amps in, and then that's it. They are away. They can make that kind of music again. The only time I think it deviates out of that sensation is on the closer, Steve Got Robbed, which is, it feels very dance punk to me, like a really mellow version of Mine and Self-Indulgence. But I'll talk more about Steve Got Robbed in a bit because I fucking love that song. Regardless of all the genres and styles blended to this album, I do believe it is, at its core, still very punk rock. It's very DIY with these clashes of and mixes of genres. I've read a few other reviews where they also pick up on that evolving sound, that more progressive, mature sound, despite the fact they are still all very, very young. You've got all the classic punk lyrical tropes in there. They are very... Overall, the album lyrically is very cynical. It touches on relationships in Trash Bag Baby, emotions and depression in April and Houston, politics in the title track and Lose, Lose, Lose. And it's got the nonsense track, which I've called it, which is Bad Allergies. I may very well be missing a bigger picture on Bad Allergies, but it's from the lyrics that I've read, it's just, I get the sniffles a lot. Are you cool with that? I know punk rock does have that reputation of sometimes not taking itself seriously, and if it's that, I'm alright with it. But at the same time, if I've missed some bigger picture, but this is a song about loss or something, then soz bros. The musical tropes are more in keeping with pop punk. Hellboy is that manageable punk song, which is what pop punk should be. Pop punk should be punk rock played to be... There's lots of P's in the sentence. Pop punk should be punk rock played to be on the radio or the TV or whatever. It should be... I don't want to use the word commercial, but it should be that. It should be commercially and mainstream accessible. That's the whole point of pop punk, not this fucking all-time low bollocks. The lyric hooks are there as well, and they get stuck in your head. The big ones are Berkeley's on Fire, the title track, and Steve Got Robbed. My god, that song, the favourite part of the entire album is the latter part of the chorus. And no matter, like, but the lyric is, out at a show at San Francisco, Steve got robbed. It was a San Fran shit show. Steve got robbed walking home from West Oakland BART station with a pistol. And it's not overtly clear. It's not like clutch levels of like weird words rhyming together or huge metaphors or long multi-syllable words. It's like, at its core, it's quite simple, but my fucking god, is it good? My fucking god, is it good? That's what I'm trying to say. I think it's just fucking. I love that lyric. The out of show San Francisco, Secret Rob, it was a San Fran shit show. It's so dumb, but yet so clever. I fucking adore it. Yeah, I feel the fact that all the reviews I've read have not, like, they make very sparring references to who Joey's dad is, and I think that's a testament to how good swimmers have got. The fact that they've got this huge, like, every time you looked at a review for Rise to Remain, like, it's fronted by Austin Dickinson, like the son of Bruce Dickinson of My Maiden, and every review said that. Every review said, like, Bruce's son's band this, or son of Iron Maiden frontman has own band does this. Whereas, no, everyone's talking about how this is swimmers. This is four guys. It's fronted by Max and Cole. You've got Joey and Travis in there as well. They just don't, like, they've done so well to separate themselves from not the not the weight of expectation. Sorry, it's not Travis either. I thought I got that wrong. It's Seb. Apologies, Seb. It's not so much the weight of having that famous person associated with the band, but it's just, as any one of my reviews tell you, reviewers are very lazy and they just go for, like, the thing to attach to the thing. But I think if they continue like this, it won't be long until, oh god, that's probably going to happen anyway. There's going to be a generation of people who will see Billy Joe, and it won't be Joey is the son of Billy. It will be Billy is the father of Joey. And, well, no, that's kind of terrifying. For fans of, I've likened them to McCafferty, which is, every time I go on their Facebook page, it's impossible to tell if they are breaking up, getting back together, if it's a one-man project, if it's a full band. Whatever they are really, really good. I can't remember what the album's called off the top of my head, but it came out a couple years ago, and it was really, 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 really good. So all indie punk style stuff. Excuse me. Sort of compatible to Pup as well, a Canadian, very, very good Canadian punk band. The very first band I ever saw live. Fun facts. And kind of the self-titled era Paramore. Like, the old stuff is too indie pop punk. The latest album, After Laughter, is too new wavy, but that in the middle of the self-titled album, I think Swimmer sits alongside there. So yeah, self-titled era, Paramore, Pup, McCavity, anything like that, I reckon you should go for Berkeley's on Fire by Swimmers, their second and fourth at the same time album.